Hi. Waiting. Even a few seconds is awkward, isn't it? We've noticed on the TV as the newscasters are talking to celebrities in their homes, there's these strange periods of pause as one waits for the other to start their sentence. We don't like waiting, do we? I realised last night I don't like waiting. I made a carrot cake. Might have some in a minute. But I had to wait. It wasn't just the making of the stuff, that's fine, but you've then got to wait 40-50 minutes for it to bake. And then you've got to wait till it cools down so you can put some glaze on top. I'm particularly pleased with this. We didn't have any of the cream cheese that you'd normally use for a carrot cake, but I made an orange glaze. It's orange juice with sugar. Anyway, back to the topic of waiting. Waiting. We hate waiting, don't we? This week's an interesting week in the Christian calendar because it includes Ascension Day. Ascension Day is when we look back and we remember Jesus giving his final instructions to the disciples, which was to wait for the coming of the Holy Spirit. And then he left and went to heaven, and the disciples had to go and wait. And they waited about 10 days till the day of what we call Pentecost, 50 days after Passover. And they waited, and they waited, and then all of a sudden God came in the power of the Holy Spirit and filled them. They were waiting with anticipation. They were waiting for something great that they'd been promised. In fact, it had been promised for thousands of years. This was the Father's promise of the coming of the Holy Spirit. Not all waiting's good, of course. Some of us wait for news of company difficulties and potentially whether we have a job or not, but a lot of waiting is with anticipation. And we're doing that so much at the moment. We're waiting and hoping for a better time coming soon. But God is the King of patience and waiting. He waits for all of us. St. Peter in his second letter, in chapter 3 of it, talks about the patience of God. That he's waiting for us. He's not rushing for us to make any decisions to come back to him, to find him as our Father again. He waits patiently. And so in our time of waiting to see if I'm going to have some carrot cake, which actually I'm going to have some carrot cake, but waiting to see if something nice comes along fairly soon, or for the time the lockdown gets eased a bit. Well, waiting is something we all have to do. But we can gain strength in waiting by asking God for that patience, because he's the King of it. Patience is part of God's character, just as much as his love is for you and I. Stay safe and God bless. I'll have some cake now. Turn the camera off. Turn it off or turn it off? I'll turn it off.